great hair, Jocelyn. You too, Thyst.
Thanks.
Oh, I don't... Hey, I lost the year that I won. I've given up all hopes.
That doesn't make any sense.
You're right. It doesn't make sense. Thank you.
We're living in a world John doesn't understand.
It's all lies. It's all lies and
Bubblegum.
Ben, the source
There's
of all
the hype
dismay in the world.
Night Vale bringing the hype.
Hey everybody, hi. We're here.
Yeah, and let's just make sure that the entire episode isn't Ben is an asshole for last time.
You know, I don't want to say it'll be the whole episode.
But it's a significant chunk.
Yeah. It'll be a proportionate amount of the episode.
Gotcha.
And when it makes you sad, I want you to just hold up a little hand mirror and look into it and wave. Because you brought it on yourself.
Oh, I feel sorry for Ben a little bit.
I don't. I had to live with this for a year. His bad decisions.
Yeah, well, I've had to live with you for many years.
This year-long nightmare is almost finally at an end.
You know what? I love you guys, and I also feel very sorry for you guys too.
You know what? I appreciate the positivity that you brought, and then
You're welcome.
turn neutral.
Yeah, the only thing that could have made that better is, but I side with Ro, whatever he decides.
I thought that was obvious.
I think everyone.
Always side with the moderator. God.
Duh.
I would just like to say that
until 2 weeks from today, when they don't side with me.
I thought that you did have an Azeroth Roundtable button at some point too. Guess not.
I have a Azeroth Roundtable button. I have a Lagging Balls button. I have a Slaying Demons button. So.
Oh,
Thyst, you could have represented
la-di-da.
for all of us.
Look at you,
I don't
Captain
have
Buttons.
one. I've got this awesome
no,
button
that's
I
right.
made last year.
That's right. I met you after the end of the guild hall, so I guess we were out of buttons, so I can't give you crap about that shit.
Don't give me crap. I thought we were friends.
We are. Look, you see how John and I are, and we're friends.
That's true.
I feel like you
I mean,
guys are
don't
a
use
little
that as a litmus test, but
No, but it's clear that there's a lot of sexual tension between you two, and that's why you fight.
It's true.
We all know it.
It's really
so-
the
God.
only explanation.
I mean, I'm surprised people haven't started shipping us yet.
We
Oh,
share
we
a room
have.
this year, though, so that's, you know.
I was gonna say, at least put a sock on the door, guys, because I don't need to walk in on that.
Well, you know, this,
Before we
this
know
is
this
actually
is going to become full-blown Twitch chat, they're going to start saying "kiss,
I
kiss,
don't-
kiss."
I don't want to walk in on that either, Joss. I'm with you.
You know, I will say though that this is the first time that we've actually roomed together in many years, because the first couple of BlizzCons we did stay together.
Yeah, it's true. Well, there was one night last
We
year.
split up and it was real sad.
One
I wrote some
glorious
fanfiction
night.
about that.
I miss the dungeon.
Once upon a time, at BlizzCon, many years ago, John and Ben shared a room. And at first, it was awkward. Little glances here and there. Little touch of the hands. Like, oh, did you want this lamp on? No, I'll turn it on. It's okay. And then you both like, click. And then the light goes off. And you're like, oh, it's so dark in here. I didn't realize.
Like, I mean, here's the funny thing. I could tell you what actually happened, and you would think it was starting off like that. Ben genuinely came and laid on the air mattress next to me, and we watched SNL videos.
What does
That was last
SNL
year.
stand for?
SNL and chill, huh?
Yep.
Sex, nuts, love.
Yep. You got it. You got it.
Snuggle, nuzzle, and love.
Yep.
Yeah. I like sex nuts better, but
All right.
All right.
Ro, you're the man now, dog.
Bro,
All
I have
right.
a question.
So yes,
Um, can I say things like sex nuts on the show?
You've been on the show before, you know.
I know, but I just, you guys aren't in charge this time.
Are
so
you
I just-
predicting sex nuts for BlizzCon? Is that?
Are you not?
No,
That's not a
maybe I
prediction.
should. I don't know. I didn't know that was an important prediction.
there's no additional language restrictions on this show compared to any other episode of Azeroth Roundtable.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify.
And I break the rules all the time. I say fuck way too much, so it's fine.
That's very true.
Nice.
Wow,
Nice.
fuck.
But all right, chat room, are you ready to get this going?
Yes, let's ask the chat.
Normally on Azeroth Roundtable, like the guests pop in and they do a little bit of an intro and say, "Hi, this is so and so for Azeroth Roundtable." But I'm thinking, this is the BlizzCon prediction show. The intro needs just a little more hype, a little more drama, a little more tension. So, hey, Ben.
Yes, Ro.
Could you play that intro for me, please?
As 1 year of Blizzard gaming comes to an end, and the next lingers on the horizon, hopes and dreams stir within the hearts and voices of podcasters, guests, and listeners alike. As BlizzCon 2017 approaches, it is time to partake in a tradition that's been revered since time immemorial. For 50 weeks out of the year, the Roundtable is a setting where all voices are equal. However, just as there must always be a Lich King, there must always be a champion. Tonight, Ro from Realm Maintenance invites you to stay a while and listen to this year's challengers: Jocelyn Moffat, Thyst, Ben Bumhofer, and John Jagger. This is the 2017 Azeroth Roundtable BlizzCon Prediction Show.
Welcome to Azeroth Roundtable episode 240, or otherwise known as the BlizzCon 2017 Prediction Show. I have been waiting so long to bring this show together. Hello, folks. My name is Ro. I'm not your usual host for Azeroth Roundtable, but I'm your host tonight because we have 4 brave, intrepid challengers that are going to be fighting for the right to claim the title of champion. And I'd like to introduce them right now. I think you know the first 2 relatively well on this show. First off, Ben Bumhofer. Ben, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, Ro. Thank you very much for asking. By the way, you have just such a lovely, nice timbre to your voice tonight.
Thank you very much. I don't know how far that flattery is going to get you tonight. Also, we have a man who, in my opinion, is perhaps the #1 contender for champion of Azeroth Roundtable tonight, Mr. John Jagger from Core.
That's
Hi,
right,
John.
Ro. Hi, thanks for having me. It's good to be back. It's another year. It's been a building year. I got the team together. We sat down. We recovered after the events of last year. We refocused. This year we have decided to focus primarily on predictions and being right.
I think it sounds like you're confident. It sounds like you have a lot of confidence going into this, even after a terrible, narrow defeat last year.
Well, we got a different judge this year, and, it brings a different dynamic to the team. People have different opinions. People have different ideas of what is winning, what is losing, what is points. So I'm optimistic that this year's just a new opportunity. I'm ready to put past dramas behind me and really, really just bring something new this year. Thank you, Rob.
I will say that I'm surprised you didn't use more quotes when you were describing what happened last year.
It's been a rebuilding year for me. I'm focusing more on trivia and predictions and getting things right. So it's rebuilding year. I'm really excited to be here. I'm really happy to be here. Thanks, Ben.
It sounds like you have your game face on, John. Now, also with us are 2 new challengers to this whole BlizzCon prediction tradition that we have here. Both of these challengers were essentially voted by the listeners of Azeroth Roundtable. They were they were the 2 highest voted in both phases of this whole process to see who was going to be a part of this. I'd like to introduce our 3rd challenger right now from the Angry Chicken and for Azeroth, Jocelyn Moffat. How are you, Joss?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm really, really excited to be here.
Joss, have you listened to any previous prediction shows? How are you feeling going into this for your first time?
I don't know, I'm a little nervous. All the like super incredible prep that you did and asking about all these questions and stuff, and they had to be very specific with numbers and things. Math is hard, Ro. Don't make me work hard.
Well, there may be a little more math later on. I can
Aw, damn
definitely
it.
guarantee that. Also, we have one of my favorite podcasters when it comes to WoW podcasting from the Lagging Balls podcast and a frequent guest co-host on Convert to Raid. It's Thyst. How are you, Thyst?
Oh, I'm doing so well right now.
Really?
I'm so relaxed. I feel confident, really turned on, and that always just relaxes me a little bit more, you know?
Well, I mean, have you had any special brownies earlier this evening? It sounds like you're very relaxed.
No, I had a burrito, so everything's good.
Oh, okay. Well,
Bro, you sound
never
like you've been
underestimate
working
power
out.
creep. Well, I have been working hard at my offline job, but yeah, I mean, I've been lifting those cases of beer and doing some reps with that and all that good stuff.
I could hear that in your
Yeah.
voice. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Sounds
I
good.
appreciate that. Well, folks, all of you that are in chat right now in Twitch chat, twitch.tv/AzerothRT, you are going to be playing a very important part at 2 points during this prediction contest.
Oh
And-
no.
That first point is actually going to happen right now. Folks, before we get into any of the questions and prediction making, when I think of a BlizzCon prediction contest, one thing that is important to me is stakes. And I don't mean 100% USDA grade beef. I mean high stakes. I mean wagers. I mean putting something on the line, putting yourself on the line, having the confidence that you are going to win so much that if you were to lose, you will do something that could possibly humiliate you, embarrass you, or perhaps just torture yourself by playing, a video game that you've said you would never, ever, ever play on stream.
I already do this show every week, bro.
Oh.
Like weekly. Like haven't
So
missed one.
you're familiar with torture.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay. Well, that will put you at advantage here. So here's how this first thing is going to work before we even get to the questions. Challengers, I'm going to give you the opportunity to get some points to start with before we even get to these questions. Here's how it's going to work. We're going to go around the table here, and each of you are going to make a wager. You're going to say, if you lose, you will do fill in the blank. After you say what you will do if you lose, the chat room is going to grade your wager. If they think that your wager is, pretty intense, pretty rough, if you are showing that you're willing to put it all on the line, then I'm going to suggest the chat room give you a high score from 1 to 10. I'd say they give you like a 9 or a 10. If your wager is something, pretty timid, pretty weak, like if you're Ben, say, I'll drink half a cup of milk, Ben being lactose intolerant.
That's
If
actually
it-
more of a loss for Nevermore.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Possibly the neighborhood, depending on how it all comes out.
Oh, and John does live close, so that'd be a big loss for him too.
Yeah, it's true. But if it's a relatively timid wager, then I would suggest to the chat room that you give a low score. And chat room, I will give you the cue when to start typing in your scores, and then after I give you the cue, I'll give you about 20 seconds from the time I say vote now. Then 20 seconds after that, we'll stop. And I'll look at the Twitch chat replay after the fact to determine what the average score was, so we don't waste too much time with this phase. John, as I said earlier in the show, I consider you the number one contender based on last year's whole shenanigans that happened there, which we don't need to go into detail about. But
Right.
as far as I'm concerned, you are the number one contender for this year's contest. As such, you have the right to decide if you want to place your wager first or last.
I would like to place my wager last.
All right,
Ooh.
then. In that case, I'm going to go down the line the way I had determined it beforehand. And Jocelyn, you get to make the first wager.
All right. I'm going to say streaming Outlast.
Whoa.
If anyone has seen my Five Nights at Freddy's video, you'll be lucky to get 15 minutes out of me.
Pretty good. It's pretty
But
good.
I'll give it a shot.
I like it. I like it. All right. So Jocelyn, if she loses, will stream Outlast. Chat room, you have 20 seconds starting now to score Jocelyn's wager from 1 to 10. Ben, how do you feel about Jocelyn's wager?
High
Well, I gotta
scores,
ask.
high scores.
Outlast is a scary game, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I know that you're like me, you are terrified of scary games. And the thing is that you're kind of giving the audience what they want. So now they're going to be rooting against you. So I would say that it's more of a 6 than anything else.
But an audience rooting against me, that makes it even harder for me, Ben.
Well,
And
the
that's
audience,
scoring
that,
has
adds
stopped.
to the wager.
Plus, it's
All
like
right.
really just making a compelling stream for herself. So it's like, I mean, it's really good. Like, stream
it's good
attention.
entertainment.
I mean, I'm gonna tune in if she does it. So
Me too.
Just a quick look at the chat scores. I'm seeing a lot of scores that are bouncing around somewhere between 5 and 7. So I think there's some high ones and some low ones. I think it's going to be around the middle of the pack wager. I'll check it after the show. Moving on, our next person to give a wager is Thyst. Thyst,
Hi.
what will you wager if you lose?
All right. What do you think about a completely clean, squeaky clean episode of Laggy Balls?
impossible. Can't be
That's
done.
an entire
A
hour.
completely G-rated lagging balls?
They can't.
Would
do
you
it.
even be able to call it lagging balls?
No.
Yeah, that you'd have to call it like the LB podcast.
Lagging orbs?
All right.
Or do you go
Chat
full
room.
medical?
You now have roughly
Lagging
20 to 30
testicles.
seconds to score this wager. John, how do you feel about a clean version of lagging balls?
I don't think they can do it. Like, I mean, put
I don't think so either.
but put in your votes, but you're not gonna see it. It's like me saying, "Oh, my wager is I'm gonna summon a unicorn." Like, okay,
Except for
sure.
Jocelyn.
Yeah, that would be a Jocelyn thing. Come on.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop scoring there. Our next person to wager will, of course, be Ben. Ben, what is your wager if you lose?
Well, here's the thing. I was going to go scary game, but I'm like, well, Jocelyn's probably going to go scary game, and there she is. I can't do that. But if you're really looking for something torturous, something that's that I'm going to have to do, I will stream 3 solid hours of fishing in WoW.
Oh,
Oh.
dude.
Wow,
That's awful.
Nah,
that's pretty brutal.
that's lame. If he really wanted it, you guys, he'd do Hearthstone.
Mm.
Ooh.
Or PvP,
Well,
I think.
No,
Yeah.
PvP is not too bad.
I'm just
Well, chat
telling
room,
you guys,
go ahead and score
Hearthstone
Ben's.
you'd give
Screw
it
you.
if it was Hearthstone, easy, perfect score for me.
There are so many high scores I'm seeing
No,
flying
I'm sticking with
already
the
for
fishing.
Ben's fishing.
I'm doing with something that I would
Ben seems
actually
to
be
have-
able to accomplish.
Ben seems to have tapped into a vein in the audience here. I think the
Yeah.
audience agrees just how mind-numbing fishing can be. That's great. All right, we're going to end scoring there. And finally, last but certainly not least, our number one contender, John, what will you wager if you lose?
Well, I have a history of being known as somewhat of a salty personality from time to
What?
time.
You don't know.
No.
If I were to lose, I would stream a game of his choosing along with Ben, and I would be forced to be completely nice and positive and uplifting to Ben throughout the entire stream. No sarcasm. And if I broke said rule, I would take the one chip challenge.
What's the one chip challenge?
What's that?
There is a chip that you can buy that is ghost pepper and the Carolina Reaper pepper chip.
Oh my God.
It's supposed to be like one of the hottest things in the world. You just get one chip. You pay for one chip and you eat it. And I will eat that
Oh.
chip if I
Wow.
am salty at all or bad to Ben.
Chat room, go ahead and wager. That's a
They
strong
have
wager.
been.
Tens are,
Yeah.
I see it. Tens are flying up
Salty
on the
to
screen.
spicy.
I already
That
know the
is a
game that I'd play too.
Spicy wager.
I'm
Or
curious
Or
is it
what the-
spicy, John?
I'm curious
I'd
what the
make you
game
play.
is.
Hey, John,
Yeah,
guess
I
what?
think there's favoritism there. Getting to wager last. Come on.
Well,
I-
you know what? He's the chosen winner by Roe, so he gets to get, get that advantage.
He's the number one contender, and that mean the number one contender. I mean, if you ever checked out any wrestling shows, the number one contender sometimes seems to have an edge. Maybe they get into things a little unusually, like some people may complain that the writing is bad and stuff, and they can be entitled to their opinions. But he's still the number one contender, and we have to respect him as such.
Harsh. Chad just said they'd rather to see me eat salt and have awful feelings.
Wow.
Rough.
All right.
You can't say they're
Well,
playing
hold on.
favorites when that's the commentary I'm getting.
Hold on
from
one
the
second
chat.
here.
Yeah.
John, do you want to know the game?
Yeah, what's the game?
Have you ever heard of a game called Zone of the Enders?
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
I don't. Okay, well, we'll figure it all out.
I own a copy of it for the Xbox 360,
Oh no!
Fun.
and I own an Xbox 360, and I happen to have the ability to capture off of it.
Oh, good.
Ooh,
All right.
Nice.
Well, here we are.
console.
People don't know why Zone of the Enders is so triggering to me, but we'll explain it should that day ever come. It won't,
Yes.
though.
Oh, totally will.
All right, well, this is a prediction show, so it's probably time that we actually get to some predictions. Now, this is going to be very different from previous prediction episodes, folks, because considering that we have 4 challengers, I'm kind of watching the clock here, so I want to get through this relatively quickly. A lot of these questions have relatively short answers, like yes or no, or maybe just a number. We
Yes.
do have some more open, long-form
No.
answers coming up later on in the show, but for this first batch, it's a little something I'd like to call the opening ceremony extravaganza. This is going to be 9 questions, all of which deal with the opening ceremony. So whatever is asked here, it has to take place during the opening ceremony for it to count. So if I say, will this happen, it has to be during the opening ceremony. Now, Ben, how do
Yes,
you
sir.
feel about predicting about the opening ceremony? We've seen a lot of weird, crazy things happening at the opening ceremony. I never saw that Deep of Mind thing coming last year.
Yeah, that was actually kind of like way out there. Very, very out there. Of course, we never really learned anything more after that either.
Yeah,
Has
and
it
I'm wondering if that'll be
Eliminated all
followed
the humans. We're now in a simulation, won by
Man,
StarCraft.
what does
We're
that keep
in the
happening?
Oh. Huh. I guess it started at BlizzCon.
Yeah. Well, for our first question, I'm going to have each of you start first for a different question, so we'll kind of rotate that so it's not too unfair. For the first question, Jocelyn, you are going to be the first to answer this. The question, folks, is, will someone who is not an employee of Blizzard Entertainment speak live on stage during the opening ceremony?
Yes.
All right. So last year there was someone who did not speak, and that was or for not an employee of Blizzard Entertainment, that was the DeepMind person. So you believe that will happen again?
Yes, there's going to be someone. Yes, definitely. 100%.
All right. Thyst.
No.
No.
Nope.
Ben.
Yes, 101%.
Oh,
And John.
Yes.
3 yeses. Thyst, you're the only person to say no. Why is that?
I don't know. It's like a feeling in my heart. Or
Yeah,
something. I
because
don't
we
know.
can't all be winners, bro.
By the way, I guess I should give you folks a little info on the scoring for this, and I forgot to mention one thing on the first question. For this first section, the first 8 questions here, each answer is worth 1 point unless stated otherwise. And if you're not feeling too confident about saying yes or no, you do have the option to skip. The reason for that being, if you get the question right, you get 1 point. If you get the question wrong, you are going to lose 1 point.
Ooh.
So I didn't let you skip the first one,
Ooh.
but that's okay. The next several, you will have the option to skip if you so choose.
So now the question is are we going to live dangerously and answer everything?
Or will some
yeah.
people
Yeah.
play it safe and answer nothing? We'll see. Next question. Will Metzen reveal himself? And I will clarify this by saying live in person during the opening ceremony. Thyst, you get to answer first.
Yes.
Yes.
Metzen
Oh.
returns.
All right, Ben.
As much as I would love to see it, no.
John
No.
and Jocelyn.
No.
Thyst is either
once
going
again-
to be defeated or crush us. It's going to go
Yeah.
one way or another.
Who knows what? Do you guys know something or do I know something?
Yeah.
I'm beginning to wonder. I mean, we've always heard about your talk about Ian Hazacostas and stuff. Are you getting some inside info that we were unaware of?
I don't know.
I see. All right. Next question. Ben, you'll be the first to answer this. And actually, Ben, it's very appropriate. Will more than 2 Murlocs appear during video segments from the opening ceremony? More than 2.
Yes.
All right. And I will qualify this by saying they can be animate or inanimate. So like the Murloc in the Overwatch cinematic, the first one that was on the kid's wrist, that would count.
Mhm.
So you
Okay.
say yes.
Definitely yes.
All right. John.
Yes.
Jocelyn.
I'm gonna say yes, just because they like to kind of insert Easter eggy kind of things, and Murlocs are so iconic. So I'm gonna say yes.
Thyst, are you going to break tradition again?
Tradition. You mean like for 2 minutes? Yes. My answer is yes. Absolutely.
Okay. Everyone believes there will be more than 2 Murlocs appearing during the opening ceremony. I figure it's kind of a softball answer.
Yeah,
I would,
two's such a small number, Ro. Come on.
Yeah,
I
would say
see
yes
2
myself.
Murlocs on my way to work every day. Just
All
I
right.
told you to stop walking past my place.
Next question. This will be for John. Will there be a shadow drop for any Blizzard franchise? Now, for a lot of you may not know what a shadow drop is, so I will clarify this. It's a term that I've heard used at E3 a lot. A shadow drop is when a company during their presentation says, this is going to be coming out, and by the way, it's available right now. So essentially, I'm saying, is Blizzard going to announce anything that will be available for play or download immediately after they announce it?
And are we
John.
talking about? So we're talking. It doesn't have to be a game. It could be anything where they can just say, "You can get it now."
I'm going to say it has to be video gaming content because that's what I was referring
So
to.
it has to be an actual game.
It has to be something with actual gameplay. Yes.
What if it's a
So-
demo?
a demo counts?
No.
I love that you needed the clarification and still didn't change your answer.
Jocelyn, how about you?
I think probably no.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with no.
Okay. Thyst, do you think there'll be any surprise content playable right away for everyone?
No.
And Ben?
I'm going with yes.
Ooh.
Really?
Oh, Ben's
Yes.
the new Thyst.
Now-
Look at
Yeah,
that.
who's this now? Looks like
just
it's
call
you.
just call me Bist. But
Decent. Oh, I get it.
it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be like something gigantic, but there will be something video game content wise that will be released right then.
Yeah.
Or
Okay,
that's
wait,
available
I-
right then.
Point of order / clarification.
Sure.
Does it count if it's like the Blizzard social app? Because that's not games.
That's not a video
No,
game. I would
it's
say no.
something.
Okay.
It's something that has to have gameplay. Now, if they somehow,
Okay, then no,
if
Ben,
they
you're on track.
added, if they added in a mini game into the Blizzard social app and made it playable right away, then that would count. But I don't see that
Really?
happening.
What if, and I don't think this is going to happen because the pet's already been released, but what if it was a pet that's available right now? You can use that in battle petting in WoW. Would you consider that as a yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. Anyway,
I'm
not
still
changing my
I'm sticking
answer.
with yes then.
I
I'm
think-
still saying no because they already released their charity pet. So I'm still staying with no.
They have more than one game.
Wait, what?
That's a real happy little dance you got going there, Ben.
I know.
I just pulled in the lead because I'm
Oh,
second.
man. All right.
fair
Next
for a
up, next question. Jocelyn, you'll be the first to answer this one. Will we see or hear a price point at any time during the opening ceremony? So will any kind of price be mentioned for anything? It doesn't necessarily have to be game related, but will we hear a price for anything during the opening ceremony?
I'm going to say no. They usually do the like super fun announcement things in the opening ceremony, and then you get like the panels afterwards where they get into the nitty gritty things like price. So I'm going to say no. No price point.
All right, Thyst.
No, that seems kind of cringy. It's like, yeah, welcome to BlizzCon. This will be $5.99, baby. And like everybody's taking out their Blizzard branded wallets like mine. Just like, here you go, Blizz.
We know you love money. We love giving it to you.
Yeah.
Ben.
Because they did release the price points for Overwatch when they announced all the different packs for it and everything. But I don't see a new IP coming, so I'm going to say no.
And John.
Nope.
All right. Good enough. Moving on. Next question. This, you're the first to answer. Will the name of any old god be mentioned during WoW's presentation in the opening ceremony?
Yes.
All right. A very
With
strong
with
authority.
With authority.
I know it.
If you're just listening, she smacked herself and said yes.
Yes. I didn't smack any children or animals.
Ben.
Oh, most definitely.
John.
No.
Okay.
And
And Jocelyn.
I don't know if I even believe my answer, but
I know,
But
John,
you're
totally
You can always
correct.
pass.
I like it. I like it.
I was all ready to say yes. I'm like, wait, John doesn't think so? Oh, damn.
Well, don't listen.
I'm going to say yes.
All right. John, I know you're kind of on the fence there, but why'd you say no?
because
He doesn't even know.
I wanted to be different.
Is it because I clapped?
I didn't like all the attention other people were getting for being different, and I needed some for me. It's my turn.
It's cute.
Good enough.
Being contrary. It never happens.
All right, next question going to Ben here. Ben, will a new mobile app be revealed during the opening ceremony? Updates of existing Blizzard apps do not count.
No,
Ooh.
there will not be a new mobile app.
All right, John.
What if it's a game?
A mobile game counts. An app means game or non-game, just any kind of mobile app.
Yes.
All right, Jocelyn.
I can't be contrary now because we've got a yes and a no. I was going to say yes, and I thought everyone else was going to say no, and I was
You
going
can
to get
pass.
no.
You can totally
I'm gonna
pass.
say yes.
You're saying yes, Jocelyn?
I'm saying yes.
All right, and Thyst.
This is a hard question. Because we've been getting a lot of mobile stuff lately.
We've been heard that they're developing something.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. But just because we hear things like that doesn't mean they come to fruition anytime soon. I'm
Think
going
about
to
Titan.
say...
We heard about that a long time. No one.
I'm going to say no.
Yes.
All right, so we're split 50-50 here.
That means
Team
she gets a
Fist.
point with you.
Yeah,
Why are
Fist.
you rooting for her?
Hey,
Because she said no when I said yes at one
Ben.
point.
John, if they do release an app, what kind of app do you think it would be?
That's my business.
Oh, well,
It's called Blizzard, and it's a dating app.
Swipe left on Thrall. I don't know.
would you swipe left or right on Jaina?
I don't know what direction means what.
Welcome, hero.
All
I'd
right.
be like,
Swipe
I don't know, I swipe left, and then next thing I know, Varian's sitting across the table from me, and I'm like, well,
Can I get a
when in
copyright on-
Stormwind?
can I get a copyright on Hearthbone?
Oh,
That's
man.
That
pretty
can be
good.
an app.
That's pretty good.
All right, our final 1-point question. John, will the game director of any current Blizzard game be on stage during the opening ceremony?
Yes.
All right, Jocelyn.
Specifically, game director.
Specifically, game director. I will bring up last year, not a single game director was on stage during the opening ceremony. It was always someone else on the team.
Yeah, but it was a transition year.
Rebuilding year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, because you specified job title, I'm gonna say no.
All right. This is a question that I feel is kind of near and dear to your heart.
I'm going to say yes, because a lot of the game directors have been in the public eye a lot this year, and I think it would be remiss of Blizzard to sort of squander that opportunity to open BlizzCon with the people that we want to see from the games that we love. So, and
No
I might have something
to say
ulterior
about that.
motives to that answer.
No,
Just saying.
not at all.
I mean, I know that you're a huge fan of Jeff from Overwatch.
sure, aren't we all?
Yeah.
And if you're
And
not, he'll wrestle you to death. So.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. I want to change my answer. I just Googled, and Ben Brode's title actually is game director. I wasn't 100% sure if he was game director, so I'm changing my answer. Yes, because I think
This was
Brode's
your
going to be on
moment,
stage. So.
Joss. This was
I
your
know,
moment to
I
be
know.
unique.
Sorry, I know.
Be contrary.
I have faith in the Brode. He wasn't there last year because he had a baby, but
I'll
Wow.
go ahead and allow it.
It's medical.
Okay.
Ben, your answer.
Yes.
Yes.
I can't go against that. It's like, okay, well, thinking of all the different game directors, it's like, yeah. Like, the only one that I would think would possibly be a no would be Ian, because they've got the panel right after.
Yeah, but
But-
he's right there.
I know, that's like, either way, it's like, I just talked to for a whole bunch.
He's right
now I'm
there.
gonna
Get
talk
on
for a
stage,
whole
Ian.
bunch
What are you
again,
doing?
you know?
That doesn't.
Yeah.
No, they're not necessarily going to say anything. They could just pop out and wave
That's true.
toplessly.
That's very
Is
true. Okay.
toplessly a word?
Throw roses to the crowd,
Now.
you know, like they do.
All right. My last question for the opening ceremony is actually worth plus or minus 3 points, and you may not skip this one. Nobody skipped any of the other ones, and you cannot skip this one even if you wanted to. This is not just a yes or no answer, though. You have a few different choices you can choose from. I don't need to list them all because you know what they are. Which franchise will be the last one featured during the opening ceremony? This question is worth 3 points. If you get it right, you get 3 points. If you get it wrong, you lose 3 points. And Jocelyn, you get to answer first.
I have to say Hearthstone. I don't have any other choices. Like, I have to say Hearthstone. And we know we're getting a new expansion announcement, so I feel like that would be a real good, like, big thing for them to end the opening ceremonies with. So I'm gonna say Hearthstone.
Thyst.
That's a really hard question. Because you feel like this year, arguably, Overwatch is the biggest game. So you'd think they'd want to end with that, but at the same time, they're like almost immediately transitioning into WoW. So wouldn't it be cool if they like announced something about WoW and then, you know, went into the WoW thing? Overwatch.
All right. You surprised me with that answer, Ben.
No ifs, ands, or buts. It's World of Warcraft, hands down.
And John?
Man, this is tough. Like, I was 100% convinced World of Warcraft until I heard Thyst, and then I got convinced of Overwatch, and then Ben said World of Warcraft, and I was like, well, now's my chance to be different and pick one that nobody picked.
There's always Heroes of the Storm, John.
It's not last. It's
Or
not.
technically StarCraft and Diablo. But
Technically.
Totally Diablo.
Also, I will say New Blizzard IP is worth saying as an answer.
No, it
but-
isn't, because it's not happening.
but that mobile space, John, come on, think of the mobile space.
They're going to end on a big note. It's going to be Overwatch or World of Warcraft, but I'm going to lock my vote in as World of Warcraft.
All right. Okay, so that ends that section. The next 5 questions are going to be from questions that were submitted by the listeners. Each of these questions are worth 2 points unless stated otherwise. Again, you do have the option to skip if you want to. A correct answer is worth 2 points. A incorrect answer makes you lose 2 points. John, you have the option of saying who gets to answer the first question.
I want to answer the first question.
All right.
Ooh. Sorry.
Do we all answer the same question, or are you spreading
Yeah,
them
all
around?
of you will answer. I just want John to determine the order of the rotation.
I like
Gotcha.
this. Like, I want a nice flow, and I'm in the upper left.
All right. Well then,
We're
Come on
going
Come on.
counterclockwise.
John, the first question at the Warcraft Q&A, will the question from Red Shirt Guy, aka Ian Bates, mention Jaina Proudmoore?
No.
All right. Jocelyn,
That's very specific.
it is.
Like, I know he's going to
'Cause
give a question.
he wrote in and he was
there's
like-
There's going to be Jaina questions. Ugh.
Hey, Rhodes,
Will
this
it
is my
be Jaina?
question.
What did you say, John?
I said no. Do you want my reasoning? I can probably convince you.
No. I'm going to say yes.
It's a
Okay.
mistake.
Ooh.
That's where you went wrong right there.
Thyst
Yes.
and
Yeah.
Ben.
No, because every single time he asks a question, it's about some sort of lore conflict. Because he's the red shirt guy for a reason.
Thyst, why do you say yes?
I don't know. He always asks the hard-hitting questions, and Jaina's been pretty much the hardest-hitting topic all year. So he's gonna get that out in the open. He's gonna be like, we need to just squash this here and now, because I'm red shirt guy. Here it comes. What's up with Jaina?
Get ready for me and my red shirt.
Yeah. Also, he's gonna be like wearing a red tank top this year. And he's gonna be like wicked buff, and he'll be
Buff.
like, "Yo, what's up with Jaina?"
I got lore
got some
questions, and I
I'm
got
gonna
swole.
pound in some answers.
Does he count as red shirt guy if he's red tank top guy? Is that
Yeah.
like a
It's still
crazy
a shirt.
we all
It's
lose
still a
kind of way,
shirt.
Ro?
Yeah, it counts. That's why I
Okay.
specifically said Ian Bates.
What if he just
I
really
don't
blew
see
everyone's mind and wore a blue shirt?
that would blow my mind if he did that.
I mean, I feel like you guys just somebody said pick a number can be between 1 and 10. How likely is it going to be 5? And you all were like, yes, it will be 5. Like, it's a very specific thing. It's far more likely. Like, you picked a specific. Anyway, it's fine. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. Ben and I are gonna win on this question. It's fine.
You're gonna
Yay.
lose. You don't know
Team
red shirt
cohesion,
guy at all.
John. Yay.
All right,
Team Jen.
Jocelyn. Here's your question to start off with. Will the technical difficulties for Heroes of the Storm last longer than the grand final?
No.
No. All
No.
right. Thyst.
No.
No. Ben.
No.
John.
Is this a cumulative or just at the beginning?
I would say cumulative.
Okay, how are we defining technical difficulties?
Anything that stops gameplay from normally taking place, or stops a game from starting when it was supposed to.
Does fire count?
Hmm.
Like actual fire?
Sure, fire,
Jeez.
crossed wires, aliens.
This is like, I'm gonna get this, I'm
said
gonna
no.
burn it
No
down.
setting fires. You said no. We want no technical difficulties, no fires.
I'm just
sis.
making
No
sure.
fires.
I'm gonna
Well, she
say
said no, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say no. They're doing a lot of streaming prior to it happening. I think they're gonna have it ironed out. They're pretty good at this point. I think they're gonna get it.
yeah, that's kind of my thought.
All right.
Although if someone did say yes and there was a fire, I think they would be disqualified from this question.
It really boils down to if I get a front row seat. If I get a front row seat, that shit's gonna be delayed for days.
What?
Fist, your time to answer first. Your question: will Ethereals be announced as a new playable race in World of Warcraft?
No.
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 Ben.
Yes,
Yes. Why do you think that?
because I think it'd be cool, and I know John's been wanting them for years.
It's a good reason for them to do something. I'm glad Blizzard's finally listening to the John audience.
John, do I
It's
take it
J-O-H-N, though,
Oh,
not
crap.
J-O-N.
John, he's at it again.
that- John,
Damn.
does that mean you're answering yes as well?
No, because sometimes the things we want aren't the things that happen, Ro.
So you're
That's
saying
true.
no.
I'm saying no.
All right. And Jocelyn.
I'm gonna have to go, unfortunately, no. I would love to play them. I think they're awesome, but no, not yet. I think we're gonna go into a place of like dealing with N'Zoth and Azshara, and we might not actually deal with Void stuff until next expansion.
I hate
So if we
dealing
were
with
gonna
Void
get
stuff.
Ethereals, then we're still one expansion out from them, I think.
Wow.
They did get new models though, and they're freaking awesome. So I think they're gonna play a role, but I think we're one
want
away
'em.
from total Void stuff.
Void stuff. Ugh.
Yeah.
I was cleaning my oven and something fell under the bottom. I reached down. Void stuff. Ugh.
All right, Ben, next question. You get to start with this. Will any of the characters shown in Hearthstone's Hearth and Home cinematic at Gamescom be revealed as a legendary minion in the next Hearthstone expansion?
Ben's
Well, Ro,
really into this scene. He's
You
probably...
know how much I love Hearthstone and how much I play
Uh-huh.
it all the time and how much I follow it. So I'm gonna just give an enthusiastic fuck yeah.
Ben knows his Hearthstone. I mean, we've made that very clear here. John.
So it has to be a minion, is what you're saying. It has to be a legendary minion.
It has to be a legendary minion that has an attack power and health value. Yes. So if it's a hero card, it does not count.
Yeah. What the hell? Why not?
All right. So John says yes. Ben says yes.
Team Ben.
Jocelyn.
I'm actually gonna say no.
Oh, there's
Really?
no Team Benocelyn?
What?
We
No.
almost formed Team Benocelyn.
No. I think the Hearth and Home video was kind of cool, but it's very much built like outside of the Hearthstone universe. It's like really cool cartoony characters playing Hearthstone in a tavern. I don't think that they're gonna be cards themselves, so I'm gonna say no.
Well,
All right,
think
I'm
about
kind
how
of-
many characters are in that tavern.
Hmm.
Yeah. there's
Yeah,
a lot
but
of them.
still, I don't think so.
Most of them are already minions.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of like self-referential stuff. Like a lot of the characters from the tavern are actually already in Hearthstone. So you're looking at kind of like the little girl or the wizard. Like the innkeeper's already there. Like I'm gonna say no.
All right. Thyst.
I think Joss
Um,
got the right answer. I'm not changing, but I think Joss got the right answer.
I don't know. I actually thought the opposite. And I don't think that they would have put that much thought and care into all of those characters without doing something with them inside the game. So I'm going to say yeah, definitely.
All right.
All
Yay!
right. Welcome to Team
Contrary.
Fun. The N is a Ben N. It's not a John N.
All right. The last question for this section is worth 5 points, and
Oh,
it may
Jesus.
not be skipped.
Oh man,
John, you actually get to answer this one first.
sucker.
Will the WoW team provide a roadmap for how they're going to cover the time between Legion and the next expansion? This is the question that's been on the minds of many WoW players. That big long drought in between one patch and one expansion and another. Will the WoW team tell us what they're going to do during that period of time?
Like, when you say roadmap, so this needs some clarification. Like,
Hmm.
is that acknowledging that, yes, there will be content between there, or is that, like, a more structured outline?
Like with dates.
Will basically what I'm asking for is, will they mention how they're going to address the time between 7.3 and the launch of the next expansion, or whatever they're announcing as what's next at BlizzCon?
So if they came out and they're like, we're doing a whole big, it'll be just like the Broken Shore event, that's considered them showing a roadmap?
I would say yes. If I feel like they'd have to give some indicator of when some of the stuff is happening.
All right, I'm going to
So,
say...
Hold on. So you are saying dates or
I don't
the
think
exact time frame will need to be?
I do not feel specific dates need to be given, but like possibly if they were to say in early 2018 you'll be getting this, and so on.
I'll say yes. Like, why
Okay.
not? I don't think they're gonna pretend like nothing happened or is gonna happen.
Jocelyn,
Yes.
Thyst.
Yep, absolutely. If it's Ian doing it, he's all about transparency and he's all about scheduling, and so he absolutely will give a roadmap.
All right, and Ben.
Say no.
The thing is, it all depends, because I can tell you that yes, we're gonna have this content, then this content, and then this content. However much there's gonna be. Actual time frames, I don't think they're gonna have. So that's why I'm iffy on the question.
Why? The expansion's coming out in June.
So, yes, if it's this is our plan to get to the expansion or whatever it is going to be. No, if they're going to have time frames. Like, does that make
No,
you see
that sounds
which way
like
I'm
a
going
skip.
here?
On the unskippable. Did you
Well,
just
no,
answer
because-
yes and no?
No, because I don't have a specific definition from Roe. It's like, okay, it's going to be like 2018, but we're not going to have specific times, and
Ben
so
Murlocs.
I'm trying to
You'll
get
know 'em
this
when you
figured
see
out.
'em. Okay.
I think it counts as a roadmap if they come out and say, like, okay, we have, 7.3 into 7.35. There's going to be a book from Christy Golden, who we just hired, and then we're going to do a new expansion, blah. And then they say, it's coming soon, or, in an early 2018, that would count. Like, they're not going to give us, like, May 27th, 2018. Like, they don't do that. But
Yeah,
if they lay out their
Jocelyn-
plans to the next
Jocelyn
expansion, that
basically
counts.
has the gist of it.
Okay.
Jocelyn has the gist of it.
Well, if we're going off of that, then yes, they're going to give that.
Okay, so everyone's saying yes. All right. Okay. Now, folks, it's time to play one of my favorite parts of this prediction episode. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the
What's in the box?
box?
Cereal.
Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
Thyst, I know that a question that you guys had on the Lagging Balls podcast was you were asking listeners what you think is going to be in that giant Overwatch loot box that is going to be on stage. I think that's a good question, and I'd like to make that part of this prediction episode. So here's how this is going to work. Each of you is going to take a guess at what is going to be inside that box. The way I'm going to score it is the challenger that I feel had the closest guess will score 10 points.
Ooh.
The second closest guess will score 5 points. The third closest will score nothing. And the person who was the furthest off from it will lose 5 points.
Whoa.
Now,
Wow.
if one of you somehow exactly predicts what's in the box, and I mean exactly, subject to my call on this, you'll get 20 points.
I feel like this question doesn't encourage fun enough.
Is this a question we can pass on?
No.
Damn.
I don't know how much is 5 points worth to you.
Yeah.
John?
A live ape.
Is he
They're
wearing
really
glasses
going
for
with
extra
the whole
points?
Winston theme.
John says, are you going to go with that answer?
Yes!
Does a
Okay.
human count as a live ape?
Like, look, I recognize I'm going to get -5 points on this question. You're all welcome, by the way. And it's fine. I want to have fun. And I think putting a real Winston in there is a real bad idea. And then,
But again, John, if he has glasses, does that mean that that's extra points? I think so.
I think if we're talking about this in a John didn't lose this question capacity, John won this question. And we don't need to get into semantics.
I like your style, John. I have to say I like your style. Jocelyn.
Okay, so they've got a giant Overwatch loot box. That's the thing,
Yes.
and I have to say what's in the loot box. Okay. I'm gonna say the Overwatch League trophy.
Cool.
It's gonna be the
Okay.
grand reveal of whatever that trophy looks like.
That's a good guess.
All right. Yeah,
That's a
I like
really
it.
good guess.
Better than a giant ape.
I didn't
No.
say a giant
I mean-
ape. I said a live ape.
Yeah.
Look,
It might
one
be
of
really
those-
small.
Jocelyn, no offense,
it's
but one of
alive.
those is a great guess. The other is a practical guess.
Thyst, what's your answer?
Well, this is tough because I've seen a ton of answers on this, and I've been asking people at work. I've been asking people online. I've been thinking about it a lot because ever since the schedule came out, like it's captivated me, right? And it's on like not a main stage. It's on the second day, I think. It's it's far and away from all the Overwatch stuff going on. I wanted it to be Chris Metzen, but it's not going to be because if it was, it would have been on the Mythic stage, right?
Right.
So I've got to be practical. And I think what it is some kind of new Overwatch merchandise. Don't know what it is, but it's going to be something that you can buy, and it's going to be cool.
Like a giant ape.
Like a live ape, not a giant ape, because that's completely impractical.
Yeah,
How are people supposed to take
your
it home?
answer now, John?
No, I just didn't want her to
say-
steal my exact answer.
I mean, John said a live ape, but if there ends up being any kind of ape in there, plushy, live, inanimate, or otherwise, I'm definitely giving credit for that. So.
Oh yeah.
What if it's one of the other answers with a plushy ape in or around it? Then who
Yeah.
wins?
Can you get tapped?
Probably-
Well,
You know what?
I'll cross that bridge when I come to it.
Things like that are up to interpretation, which
invested
really
in
screws
Winston and
people
Walker.
over.
All right, Ben, what's your answer? What's in the box?
Well, first of all, I would crap myself if they opened the box and then one of the giant car dealership inflatable apes just popped up. That'd be great.
That's what
I
I
would love to
want
see
to
that.
happen now because I just want Ben to be like, well, I said so.
Gotta crap myself.
Okay, maybe I might not crap myself, but
Time to
I
fill
would
it up.
be incredibly
You might not.
excited. I don't know. We'll see. I tend to get really excited when I'm there, to the point where I crap my. I don't know. Anyways, I'm done on that.
Just now? You finished?
Yep. Exactly.
Filled it up.
Let's see. First of all, I think there's going to be an explosion of awesomeness, and inside will be some sort of loot for everybody at BlizzCon.
Oh, like look under
Oh.
your chair. It's the new car.
Yeah, exactly.
Body wash.
Bees.
You get a live ape, and you get a live ape.
So BlizzCon loot.
Yes.
Probably going to be a giant inflatable Pachamari.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh, cool. And it just like
But
keeps
with-
floating
but
up into
with
the
sunglasses.
ceiling.
It's bigger
And then
than
it
the
hits the
room.
raptors and
it
pops.
it's a disaster.
And then for some reason the main stage is or the hero stage gets caught on fire and delays the okay.
I had nothing to do with that fire.
Every scenario where this opens in my mind is a disaster, by the way. Whether it's the ape going immediately berserk and attacking people, or whatever the inflatable thing is being too big and crushing people in the room, or pyrotechnics setting everything on fire, I'm convinced that when this thing opens, it's going to be bad. I'm going to be as far away from it as possible.
Well, I can't wait to see what happens when that thing's opened up. My own answer kind of is close to Ben's. I think it's going to be loot for people, but we shall see. Next section, folks, it's time for the franchise free-for-all.
Da-da-da.
I like that Ro introduces these like they're well-known categories, and people are
Yeah.
like, "Oh yes, the franchise
Hey, I'm
free-for-all. That's my
hyped.
favorite."
It's time for the lightning round.
Exactly. Hey, it's always been my dream to be a game show host, so I'm living my dream for one day.
What is Chandler Bing's job?
Pretty much. All right, so this is how this section's going to work. I have written a question for 5 Blizzard franchises. Diablo got left out, but I have a question for World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, StarCraft, and Hearthstone. Each of you is going to get to choose which franchise you want to be your favorite question, because for you, the point value for that will be double. For everyone else, the point value will be normal. So here's how it's going to work. It's a numbers answer, so you're going to answer with a number. Whoever guesses closest to the correct answer will get 3 points. Whoever guesses furthest from the correct answer will lose 3 points. The other 2 people won't score anything.
Are
If
these
you-
Price is Right rules?
No.
Okay.
Don't bet
Either
a dollar.
direction.
Don't bet a dollar.
The price is wrong,
If-
bitch.
If you guess the exact answer, you'll score 6 points. And again, if this is from the franchise that you're choosing as your franchise, then it's double that. So you could score 12 points if you guess exactly right on the franchise you chose.
I'm gonna nod as if I understood that.
Yep.
It's
So
Matt.
John,
Ro.
I-
I'm so disappointed.
John, as a number one contender, I'm going to let you decide if you want to choose first from the franchises available or choose last.
First.
All right. Which franchise would you like?
Heroes of the Storm!
I had
wait,
a feeling
what?
you'd say that. All right. This is the Heroes of the Storm question. John, since it is the franchise that you chose, for each person that chooses the franchise, you'll get to answer last, so you have a bit of advantage based on what the other people answer. So, John, you'll get to answer this one last. The question is, what is the total number of times that heroes on both teams will die in the final game of the HGC Grand Finals?
So, how many deaths total in the finals?
What's the total number of deaths in the final game of the Grand Finals? So, Jocelyn, you're going to actually be answering this first. John will be answering it last.
They don't die as much as I do. I die a lot. I was trying to think of like all my heroes games and then like try to find like an average, and I was like, no, that's going to be way too high. 23.
23. Thyst.
I was gonna say 6, but no, I'm gonna say 6.
Okay. Ben.
14.
All right. John.
15.
Nice.
Damn,
And
I
a live
felt
ape.
that because I thought 23 was like low.
Well, I figured 2 team battles and then maybe a couple picks.
I like it. Jocelyn, you get the next pick of franchises. There are 4 left. Which franchise would you like?
Hearthstone.
I kind of figured you'd say that. All right, Jocelyn, you'll get to answer the Hearthstone question last. Thyst, you get to answer this one first. The question, how many new cards will be entirely revealed over the course of BlizzCon? To clarify, the entirety of the card's art, name, and card text must be known to be considered revealed.
12.
12. Ben.
7?
All right, John.
He took mine. I'm gonna go with 8.
Jocelyn, I feel I know where you're going to go with this.
So, Thyst, how many did you say? 12?
Yeah.
And it's just the closest answer, right?
That's the closest.
Okay, then I'm going to go 13. Sorry.
Oh,
I like that.
we got some
That's the answer.
competition
Go.
here.
I will say, last year, by the way, Mean Streets of Gadget say on 30 cards revealed during BlizzCon.
Oh, whatever. That was last year.
I was gonna
That's why I don't
Somewhere-
pay attention.
30 and 40, but yeah, I'm just going to go 13 because that's the safe answer.
How can they
It's-
keep
it's
us
a
on the
very
hook
safe
for
answer.
so long if they reveal so many cards? It's gonna be
Yeah.
yeah. It's gonna be
Well,
8.
it's going to be playable that day, so of course.
All right, Fist, you have 3 franchises left to choose from. Which one do you want to be yours?
I pick WoW. Bam. Beep, beep, beep,
Ah,
beep.
Enjoy your shitty franchises, Ben. All the good ones are gone.
There's still an awesome one there, and I'm taking it.
Okay.
all right. Fist, you'll get to answer this one last. Ben, you get to answer it first. This
Okay.
is perhaps one of my favorite questions. Using the standard Scrabble point values for each letter in the alphabet, what will be the
Wow.
total value of the title of WoW's next expansion?
hell?
If you don't believe an expansion will be announced, you should answer 0. Ben's eyes are crossed.
23.
23. All right, John.
What's the value of Z again?
A live ape.
Apparently nobody's gonna tell me that. 59.
Wow. All right, Jocelyn.
It's gonna have a long title. What can I say?
With a Z.
With
Thank you,
Z is
Ryan.
like 10. Z is 10 points, I think.
20. You said 23, Ben?
If you pick 24,
No.
Do it. Do it.
No.
It's their
I'm going to say
strategy here.
32.
32. And Fist for double points.
This is like the worst question of life.
Your fandom of WoW has really brought you to a good place with this question.
That's true. I'm gonna go with having absolutely no knowledge of Scrabble. Um, 50.
50.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just ask this really quick because I did see it in the chat room and I didn't even think about it. Is World of Warcraft part of that score?
No.
Okay.
It would be the expansion title itself.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm
All
hoping
right.
for a lot of owls.
And of course, no
Owls?
one said zero simple hiccup. To bet that there wasn't going to be an expansion would be to bet for madness.
Yes.
Then the Hearthstone stage would get, caught on fire for some reason.
Yeah, crazy
Riots
like
all
a
over the
live ape.
place.
All right, who knows? Ben, you have Overwatch and StarCraft you can choose from. Which one would you
Diab-
like?
Oh,
Ah,
I'm going Overwatch.
All right, the Overwatch question, you'll get to answer that one last. John, you get to answer it first. What will be the length of the new cinematic that debuts at BlizzCon? If you feel there won't be a new cinematic, you should answer 0.
too long.
Preferably minutes and seconds.
Boom. Wait, are we doing minutes? Just
Minutes
total-
and
Minutes
seconds.
and seconds.
Minutes and seconds? Oh, okay. When you say cinematic, do you mean what do you mean by that?
Okay,
Like,
so
if they
so to
take-
clarify here,
Okay.
the Junkertown thing that we saw, even though it wasn't as full-fleshed as some of the other ones, would still count as a cinematic to me.
Oh.
The May one's definitely a cinematic. Both of those to me count as cinematics, even though the production value on them is a little bit different for each of them.
I see
if
you've
there
set the
are-
bar low.
If there are 2 different cinematics at BlizzCon for some reason, then let's go with the longest one.
Uh, 3 minutes and 57 seconds.
3 minutes and 57 seconds. Jocelyn,
2 minutes and 36 seconds.
short but sweet. Thyst,
Hi, I'm a character buy.
I was actually watching a bunch of cinematics at work today, and most of them are around 8 minutes. So it'll be like 8 minutes, 32 seconds.
all right. I don't know if you should have mentioned that much knowledge because I think Ben's about to snipe you, Ben.
I was actually going to go for 8 minutes and 50 seconds
That's what he says. But
before you even said that.
he's a
So
total
I
sniper.
believe you.
He's a widowmaker. That Ben.
what?
Maybe an Ana on a good day.
I can't snipe to save my life. You know that.
That's what they want you to think.
All right. And that takes care of the 4 that each of you chose, but we're still going to do the StarCraft question. It just won't count as double points for anyone. The StarCraft question, John, you'll get to answer this one first. And the question is, how many cosplayers will appear on stage on Friday night portraying characters from the StarCraft universe? To clarify here, if it's a Heroes of the Storm skin for a StarCraft character, that still counts to me as StarCraft.
Oh, all right. Well, I know of one.
Yep, so do I. And it is a
Yeah,
freaking
It's
awesome
amazing.
cosplay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to say 7.
7 StarCraft characters.
Yeah,
All
StarCraft
right.
is hot.
Or at least seven times at StarCraft characters.
Look,
if
It's
if
gonna
there are
be
3 Novas, it counts as
7
3.
Heroes of the Storm costumes that happen to tie into StarCraft.
All right. Ben,
I'm going 4
4.
For what?
for StarCraft characters in the cosplay.
Oh,
Didn't you hear the question? It's the same question, John.
I just didn't know what you were for. You were like, I'm gonna go 4.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Ah, semantics.
Jocelyn, how
Just
many
confused
StarCraft
for a moment.
cosplayers on stage?
Say 2.
No, because okay. We know that there's a Nova. Kerrigan is hot. And then there's Raynor and Pajamather. You guys saw that guy like last year or the year before. He was awesome.
Yep.
And those are just like the characters I can think of, and that's not counting duplicates. And John, you said 7?
I said 7.
I'm gonna say 9.
All right,
Oh,
so we
you
got a 9, a 7, and a
two-upper.
4. Thyst, your answer.
12.
Whoa!
Wow! Not even going 10. You're just like 12. Boom.
12. You woke yet? See you at BlizzCon, everybody.
I was awake a while ago. I had coffee this
Peace.
morning.
I was not woke.
So, fun fact, guys. At last year's BlizzCon cosplay contest, only 2 StarCraft characters.
Well, this
Boom!
year's gonna be better. Ro,
By 2,
Stop.
John. There's gonna be 4.
I told Jocelyn to pick 2. I would have given her the right answer for last year.
For
We're
last
not playing
year.
for
Maybe
last
everyone
year.
was like, "Wow, there was not enough StarCraft this year. We're stepping it
Look,
up."
if they were smart, they'd do it. Because let's look at some past winners: the Adjutant, the Terran armor that was made out of leather, for some reason. Like StarCraft wins. StarCraft is money.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sorry,
well,
John, but time is money.
Your face
time is definitely money. We need to move on to the next segment. And yes, this one has a name. This is a segment I like to call the boss battle.
Ooh.
So,
Boss battles. I
Or
can play
not.
the clip if you want.
prior to recording this show, I asked each of the challengers to come up with a question that had an answer with a number. And the thing is, the question's not being asked for the other challengers. I'm the one answering the question.
Oh.
Oh.
So here's how it's
Are
going to
then
work.
you just gonna give your points to John? Because that's cheating.
I don't know. That
Here's
seems
how it's
okay.
going to work. I'm going to take the question. I'm going to read off the questions that each of them asked, and then I'm going to give my prediction for that answer. Then we're going to go around the table here, and you guys are going to predict if the actual answer is higher or lower than my prediction. If your guess is correct, you get 5 points. If your guess is incorrect, you don't lose anything. However, instead of choosing higher or lower, you have the option of saying that my prediction is exactly right. If you go that route and I am exactly right, you score 10 points.
Whoa.
He's not gonna get it right, guys.
Also,
Right.
We don't know the
Also, your-
questions.
also your own question will count as double points for you. So,
Damn.
Like, if one of these questions is how many Coke Zero oranges is he gonna drink, we have control over that.
We do. We can cut him off. He's got a
fun
problem.
fact, none of the questions deal with Coke Zero with orange, so at
Okay.
least that's out of the way. We're going to go with this question first.
Yes.
And of course, this you'll get to answer it last. This question was, how many BlizzCon events will feature Ian Hazacostas?
I knew that you were gonna ask that.
All of them, preferably.
Now, to clarify, a BlizzCon event means anything that has a block of time on the BlizzCon schedule. I was thinking long and hard about this. I know that WoW has 3 main events going on. That is the What's Next panel, the Systems panel on Friday, and then there's a Q&A on Saturday. I do not think that Ian's going to appear in the opening ceremony. I do think he is going to be in at least 2 of the other 3 panels, and I am almost positive he will appear on either Allcraft or the Instance. He might appear on both. So actually, I'm going to say that Ian will appear in 4 different events at BlizzCon. That's my prediction 4. So let's go with Ben. Is it going to be higher or lower than 4?
See, I would have said 5, so I'm going higher.
John,
Lower.
Jocelyn,
Lower.
Thyst.
Ro, you are exactly right. You might not be right about the certain
But the
things that he's
number,
going to
you
be in,
think
but
it'll be 4 events.
the number is correct.
All right. On to Jocelyn's question. Jocelyn's question was, how many remastered titles will be announced at BlizzCon? And last year, was StarCraft 1 remastered announced at BlizzCon last year, or was that a different part of it?
I don't think that was
I
actually
think it was
announced
elsewhere.
at BlizzCon, yeah.
Yeah. So
But remasters are so hot this year.
Yeah.
yeah, you see, that's the thing. I mean, remasters have been kind of a hot thing, and I feel like it's time for something like Diablo 2 or Warcraft 3 to get the remaster treatment. If there are going to be any remaster titles announced, I think it would only be one and no more than one. So I'm going to predict one remastered title announcement at BlizzCon. Thyst, higher or lower than one?
Higher.
Or you can go with exactly right, too.
We understand the rules, Ro. She doesn't think you're right.
I think you're almost
Ben.
right.
Lower.
John,
Lower.
Jocelyn.
Higher.
Wow, so no one thinks it's going to be just one. Wow. Okay.
Just
No,
you,
I think
Ro.
it's 2. I think it's 2.
I like that Ro's like really bothered that we didn't agree with this.
I
He's
am.
like, he's like, I gave
I
that
did
a lot
some
of thought.
research on
Nobody.
this. I gave this stuff some deep thought. Come on now. All right. Let's go to Ben's question here.
I like my question.
I like your question too, Ben. In fact, when you told me the question, I'm like, damn, why didn't I think of this as a question myself? It's really good. Ben's question was this: how many times will a guild
Drawn
get
out.
a shout out during the WoW Q&A? There's been kind of a tradition for a lot of people in the Q&A to mention, hi, my name is Bob. I'm from the Leroy Sucks Guild on Argent Dawn US. I did some research on last year's and the year before in the Q&A. And based on my research and taking a guess at how many times it's going to come up this year, I'm going to predict 8 people will give a guild shout out during the WoW Q&A. So, my prediction is 8. John, higher, lower, or exactly 8?
Lower.
Jocelyn.
You're exactly right.
Wow. Going for the 10.
I'm going for the points.
Thyst.
Lower.
Ben.
You're exactly right.
Oh my
Ben!
gosh. Oh my gosh.
I'm going for the 20.
Joss is gonna kill you, Ben.
I know where you sleep.
I know you're going to be in the
Really?
same room.
All right. Last but certainly not least, the number 1 contender. John's question, it's a good one.
The number 1 contender.
Yeah, I'm the number 1 contender.
He's the
Yeah,
number
there's
1
no
contender.
favorites. No favorites.
No. How many new race class combos are going to be announced for WoW? To clarify, this includes new combinations of old races and classes and newly announced races and/or classes. Looking at previous releases, I think we're going to get a new race announcement. I don't know what that race is. I don't think we're getting a new class. I do feel like we're going to get maybe 1 or 2 new race class combos based on some stuff that we've seen in Legion. So I am going to guess. I'm going to guess 9. 9 new race class combos. Jocelyn, higher, lower, or exactly right?
Oh man, this one's hard.
I know, I picked one that would have big numbers to really mess with people.
Yeah. Because if
Math is
so
hard.
if we get a new race, then as long as it's not like demon hunters, then or like yeah, as long as there's not like only a couple of people that can do it or it can only do a couple of things. Oh my god.
And
New
just
race
to
would be
clarify, and
crazy.
also for Joss's sake, before she answers, if they announce a new race, then even old bland vanilla classes all count as new class combos for that. So if they could be
right, if
5
they can
different
be paladins,
classes, that's
then
5.
yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say fuck.
That's not a number.
Lower.
Lower. Okay.
I don't feel good
Yes.
about my answer.
Fist, higher or lower than 9, or exactly right?
I don't know, man. I want to say higher, but I'm scared, so I'm gonna say you're right.
Oh wow. Wow,
I'm
that's
putting my
bold.
faith in you, Ro.
It's putting a lot of faith in me. I'm a little nervous
that
about
is
that.
Too
You
much.
Ben.
could be.
Okay, so the way I look at it, I have to back up the whole there's a new race coming because I gave that beforehand.
Mhm.
I doubt they're going to be Death Knights. I doubt they're going to be monks. I doubt they're going to be demon hunters. And so that leaves, oh, and I doubt they're going to be druids if they're the ethereals. So that leaves 8 right there. But if this is going to be a void-ish expansion, which I'm thinking it is, then I think there's going to be more priests available who can become shadow priests. So you said what, 9, Ro?
Yes.
I'm going higher.
All right. Okay, we got those questions done. We are
Hey,
getting
I didn't give
Yeah,
you
John
anything.
didn't-
end.
Yeah,
wait,
John
didn't
didn't
do
do
it.
it.
What'd you write for
John.
me, Ro, out of curiosity, Mr. Record
Oh, no,
Keeper?
He wrote that you won. That's what he
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Never
not
mind,
fair.
got it.
John, higher or lower than 9 are exactly right.
Way higher.
Way higher.
Way higher.
So you're on the sub race hype train?
Yeah.
All right. Well then, John, I think it's time for your favorite segment of the show.
The one where I'm proclaimed winner and king and champion of Azeroth Roundtable.
Not quite, but I feel like you may pick up a lot of points with this one compared to the other 3, depending.
Okay.
What?
Folks, it's time for the Nexus Challenge. I mean, what would
Yes!
any Azeroth Roundtable episode be without some Heroes of the Storm talk?
I just can't wait till we get to the Spider-Man talk.
So here's how the Nexus Challenge works. Now, I feel pretty confident that we're going to get an announcement of at least one new hero for Heroes of the Storm, maybe multiple. Last year we had 2. 3 or 4 is not out of the question. This category is worth 24 points. There is some math involved in this, so brace
don't wanna
yourself,
know it.
Jocelyn.
We don't want to know it.
Well, basically, I won't give you all the details, but you can choose from 1 to 4 characters to predict that are going to be announced for Heroes of the Storm. You get points for each character that is actually announced as a correct answer. If you decide to put all your eggs in one basket, like say you choose one thing, like you say Deckard Cain, and that's the only one I'm predicting, and then Deckard Cain is predicted, you're going to get 24 points because you put all your eggs in one basket on Deckard Cain. If you decide to choose multiple characters so you have multiple chances, and that's fine, but each one is worth a portion of that 24. The only caveat to all of this is if you make an exact prediction, in other words, if you say these are the characters and it's exactly that number of characters and exactly those heroes, you score 50 points.
Wow.
So this could make or break the game, possibly, if you get it exactly right. I did make sure that no one had any inside information on this, John.
And even if he did, I want him to win, so it doesn't matter.
I will say this. I'll say exactly what I said to Ro, and this is 100% true. I am aware of rumors. I am under no NDA, and I have no advance knowledge.
All right. So, with that said, John, I'm actually going to let you decide if you want to go first or last on this.
I'll go first.
Okay. And again, you may choose from 1 to 4 characters.
So, I'm gonna put all my eggs in one basket.
Okay.
Alex Straza.
And it's a pretty strong, safe bet. There have been definitely rumors about Alex Straza. Ben,
Yes, Ro.
you may choose 1 to 4 characters that could be revealed as new Heroes of the Storm characters. What will you predict?
I'm going to go 3 and be entirely wrong.
Okay.
So,
A live
I
ape.
that was going to be one of them, but I changed my mind.
Sorry.
No, I actually think Alex Straza is going to be in there.
Okay.
I am going to go with Hanzo, because they already have Genji. Everybody hates Hanzo, but he's going to be awesome in Heroes apparently.
And he was leaked.
Oh, he was?
Sorta.
Oh, really?
Sorta.
Cool.
If he was leaked, why didn't you pick him, John?
Because I'm not convinced he'll be at BlizzCon. I'm only convinced there will be one hero at BlizzCon.
Ah.
I think there will be others. Like, if the question was how many heroes do you think they'll announce, I'd probably answer 2 or 3. But I only am 100% convinced of one hero. So I'm gonna take all my points.
Okay. Well.
Okay, so Alex Straza, Hanzo,
and before we go any further, I'd just like to say that I don't follow Heroes rumors, so I had no idea on that. That was just honestly.
Well, no, that's
out of
fine.
the
I
air.
mean, leaks are leaks. So I mean, you can decide to go with what the leaks are saying, or they may not be entirely accurate. Not all leaks end up being right.
That's
Okay.
right.
Well, anyways, so number 3, just because I think it would be really interesting, since as much as everybody wants Deckard Cain, I don't think we're ever really going to get him. But I'm going to say Leah, because I think she could be cool. They
That's
probably
an
haven't even
interesting
like touched her or done anything with her at all, but I think she'd be a cool addition.
I definitely can't argue that. It's not one I would have thought of. Thyst,
Hey,
how many characters would you like to predict?
just one.
All right, which one?
She might be kind of a wild card, but I think that she makes sense the more that I've thought about her, and I think that going indirect support would be Symmetra.
Oh.
Okay.
She's gonna have teleporters, shield generators, turrets. She's gonna throw her shield down a lane, and it's gonna suck, and she's going to be amazing.
I like
throw you a shield.
Mhm.
That's her voice.
a bold
Is it-
deviation, not worrying about the leaks, just going out on your own there with one pick. I like it.
Thank you.
Jocelyn, how many characters would you like to predict?
I think 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna go the dragon route, but I'm gonna say Deathwing.
Oh.
Wow. Everyone's been waiting for Deathwing for so long.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, and I can't decide if their way of putting him in was like that diva skin, or if that was just like a tease for what's to come. So I'm gonna go Deathwing,
That's sound logic.
and then I'm going to go out on a huge limb because I think it's been way, way too long now with no representation of like very specifically Hearthstone only characters. So I'm gonna say Elise Starseeker.
Who's
Ooh.
that?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
before we
I
move
don't know
on
who
from
that
this
is.
row, I
Yeah.
think it's only fair that I do this. Having heard all the guesses, and they're good, but I will say this. I feel it only fair that I share what I know and give everybody a chance to change their answer.
Aw.
The leaks are Firebat was supposed to have already come out. He seems to have gotten skipped over in favor of Junkrat and Ana together. Alex Straza is still on the list as being talked about for BlizzCon, and Hanzo did appear on a document that was in an official Blizzard video. Does anybody want to change their answers knowing this?
No.
What's a fire bat?
It's a
From
flamethrower
StarCraft.
unit in StarCraft.
Okay.
Or a bat.
Also a world champion in Hearthstone.
Yes.
Oh, and I just noticed that Draven Dresden actually put those in chat.
All right. Sounds like
Oh.
everyone's keeping theirs, right? Or does anyone want to change?
I don't know if I want to change my big dragon to Alex Straza now.
I guess the
No,
only
I'm
other
gonna-
thing
I'm
I
gonna
know
stick
is
with Deathwing.
they did ask for player suggestions for Deckard Cain over 9 months ago. Takes them 9 months to make a hero. So if they decided to pull the trigger on Deckard Cain, we are about at that time. So
9
Man,
months.
I
It's
want
like they're
that.
birthing an old man.
I'm just
Yeah.
sharing information so nobody's like, well, John knows he's so favored. There you go. That's the info that I have, and you all have had a chance to change your answers.
Thank you. That was fair.
All right. Well, we have just about reached the end here. Now, one thing that these prediction episodes are known for is just letting us make wild, wacky predictions. And it's time for that. We've reached the end. We've reached what may potentially be the most important question of the night, even more important than the Nexus Challenge.
Oh.
This is basically something I call the proving grounds. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to go around the horn, and each of you are going to be able to make whatever prediction or predictions you want. It can be one, it can be a single prediction, it can be a multi-part prediction, however you want to do it. Chat room, you've been great sticking around this long. You're going to get to be involved in this final part. This is the way it's going to work. After a challenger has made their prediction, after they have called their shot, I will give you guys roughly 30 seconds to grade the prediction. If you think they are making a very easy, lame, tame prediction, such as, hey, Mike Morheim is going to be on stage, I would
Wait,
suggest
who
giving
said
them
that?
a 1.
Who said he's going to be there? That is amazing. That never happens.
If you want to go with something else, why don't we test this out, okay? I'll make a prediction, and chat room, I want you to score me just for the hell of it.
If you take one of our
1 being
unknown to you
lame, 10
predictions-
being awesome. Is
Yeah,
that
how
what it
many
is?
points are on the line? Are we just going to get the
So-
number of points
so
for how
here's-
crazy our prediction is?
Here's how the score is going to work. The chat room is going to grade your prediction from 1 to 10, and you'll get that many points off the bat. So if you make a very crazy prediction, you get 10 points and stuff. But here's the thing. If you get the prediction exactly right, on top of that, you're going to get a bonus equal to 5 times the prediction. So if you make a 10-point prediction and it comes right, you get 50 points for that prediction. If you decide to play it safe and make like a 2 or 3 point prediction, well, then you have a pretty good chance of scoring 10 or 15 points off of a safe prediction. If your prediction has multiple parts and part of it comes right, you're still going to get partial credit.
This is super complicated, Ro. I love it. This is
You
amazing.
said there were numbers, and my eyes glazed over, and then I realized
Yep.
Ro was still talking, and I was like, oh, shit.
Hey, John, do you want the quick and dirty version of
No,
this?
I don't. I just want to make a guess.
Because it's just a one-sentence thing.
Just make a guess.
Ro wants you to win.
Oh, good.
I love how Ben keeps on thinking that I want John to win. I'm definitely giving John all the advantages in the world going into this. I mean, let's be clear. But it doesn't necessarily mean I want John to win.
I mean,
I'm just
I
trying to
gave the live ape guess, so I'm not helping myself.
Right. Right. I'm trying to be fair to John for the past. I mean, I do feel like mistakes may have been made, and so I'm trying to make amends.
That's how obvious it was, Ben.
Yeah.
Bro, this is not the time. nor the
True.
place
Let's get to
to be
predictions
nice to
here.
John.
Ben,
Yes.
you get to make the first prediction or predictions. It can be about anything or everything as long as it is something that can be verified or debunked between November 2nd and November 4th in Anaheim.
Okay. My crazy prediction is actually going to be something having to do with the BattleNet launcher. I think that Blizzard is going to give us one video chat, which means that there's a very good chance that podcasters are going to start using that to record all of their Blizzard podcasts. And second, I think that they're going to give you the ability to share video to, like, say, Twitch or YouTube or something else just straight through the Blizzard launcher. And I think that's going to be announced at BlizzCon.
Chat, go ahead and grade Ben's prediction.
Thanks for that, John.
I'm just saying I don't know what you predicted because I was so bored.
That had absolutely nothing to do with apes.
Yeah, I know it's a boring prediction. It's not wild and wacky. It's something that I think is really going to happen.
This is like find out who your friends
relatively-
are right now.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I'm seeing relatively, low to mild prediction
I
scores
know,
for
because
this.
it's not a wild and wacky crazy thing that won't ever come true.
That's all right, Ben. I'm not going to get high value on mine, but I feel like it has to be said, so it'll be fine.
All right, we're going to
Okay.
go ahead and close it there. Next up, Thyst.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
You're welcome.
Your prediction for BlizzCon 2017.
Besides all the obvious WoW stuff, I predict that the MDI is coming back, and it will come back in January, and it will come back every 6 months or so for the next year or two. And
I'm so sad it's not going to be at BlizzCon, by the way. That was so fun
I
to
know,
watch.
right? But it's going to be a regular thing, and it's going to get even better. But obviously, we won't be able to know about that at BlizzCon. But I do predict that they're bringing the MDI back.
So you predict an announcement that MDI is coming back and that it will happen twice a year at BlizzCon.
Yes.
Twice a year. Okay. Chat room, go ahead and score this prediction. John, what do you think of this prediction?
I think it's better than Ben's because I listened to the whole thing. It loses a lot of points because the MDI really royally screwed up my grappling hook. And so it can burn in the fires of hell. But considering the legendaries that dropped also screwed up my grappling hook, I'm kind of okay with it being gone. And I watched a little and it was fun. So I gave it a 3.
Fair.
All right. Jocelyn, what is
Did you
your
cut it off
BlizzCon
yet?
prediction? Yes, I did.
Okay, just making sure that the chat
That's
room
what
knows.
she said. I don't know what that even means, actually.
And sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just
It's okay. I get interrupted on Azeroth Roundtable. That's what happens. I'm glad that we got it into the show somewhere.
yay.
Okay, so my prediction. I'm going to go Hearthstone, obviously, but I'm not going to go Hearthstone expansion because we all know that's coming, so that's really, really lame. What I'm going to say is I'm going to predict something like Hearthstone 2.0, although I don't know if that's what they're actually going to call it because I don't know how similar they're going to go to Heroes, but I think we're going to get an announcement basically saying that they have rebuilt the back end of the client so it's not so crappy and it's not holding them back anymore, and that is going to come with some sort of a feature announcement that I think is probably going to be something like a new type of ladder/tournament mode where we can play in a way that isn't best of 1. So best of 3s, best of 5s, best of 7s, stuff like that.
So your prediction is basically 2 parts, 1 client overhaul, and 2 tournament mode announcement.
Yes. Well,
All right.
I don't know if they're going to call it tournament mode,
Okay.
but I think like just some sort of like a ladder revamp where we won't just be playing best of 1s, where there's like bans or something like that. Maybe not a full-on tournament, but I think we're going to see changes to the ladder.
Okay. Chat room, go ahead and grade that prediction. Ben, what do you think of that, considering how much you play Hearthstone?
Well, I know that they've been wanting some sort of tournament edition for a very long time. So if it comes through, great. I mean, honestly, I think that is a wild and wacky prediction because it has been so long without it coming. So, you know what, Jocelyn, good luck.
Thanks, Ben. I kind of just really, really want it, and I hope it's true.
All right, I will go ahead and cut it off there. And John, time has come for you to make your call. Now that you see what you're dealing with, you can decide to play it safe or just go for all the guts. So I'm really curious what your prediction is.
Honestly, I feel like there's only one thing I can say. We have a history here on the Azeroth Roundtable Prediction Show. It's a long-standing history. I understand that this is not the best guess in the whole wide world, but I want you to hear how I say it so that at least we can put some more emphasis on it. So my prediction is Murlocs. You'll know it when you fucking see it.
What?
Chat room, go ahead and grade John's prediction. And mind you, the chat room scores stick. So, I mean, if the chat room tosses 10s, I'm abiding by it.
Yep.
So,
Yep, there you go.
what is it? You
John-
don't know
John
what
went-
if you see it even means.
You'll know it
If you-
when you see it. You'll see
He's
it
gotten-
and say,
Hear it.
that's what John was
John-
talking about.
He's gotten
John
sucker
is
points over the
cunning.
past few years because of this.
John is cunning. He's a strategist. He knew the right prediction to make to get the easy points and possibly an easy win, too. I mean, man, this gets you, like, I'm looking, this is probably going to be about 8 or 9 points for you. Civ scores 6.5 out of 10, by the way.
Thank
That's,
you,
um,
Civ.
that's a 10, though. That's a hero's 10 right there.
Yeah, if you want to know
All
the
right.
origin of that, listen to every single BlizzCon prediction episode.
every one of them.
Now, there is a small possibility that we may have a tie. I do have a tiebreaker set up. It's relatively simple. So here's the tiebreaker.
If we have a tie out of all of this, I don't even know.
Trust
My
me.
prediction is
It
there
could
will
happen.
not
Like,
be a
how
tie.
does
Jocelyn?
math even work?
Seriously, Jocelyn, trust me. It can happen.
It could happen.
Mm.
So
Be surprised.
I want to be prepared for a tie. In the unlikely event of a tie or likely event of a tie, this last question will be used as a tiebreaker and is otherwise worth 0 points. The prediction closest to the actual answer wins, not Price is Right rules, so either direction. Tiebreaker question. How long will Mike Morhaime be on stage during his first appearance at the opening ceremony? Please answer in minutes and seconds. I will clarify. This is the length of time that he remains on stage, starting from his first words and ending the first time he leaves the stage he is on. Any return visits do not add on to this time. We will start with Thyst.
5 minutes and 47 seconds.
Jocelyn.
3 minutes and 12 seconds.
John.
18 minutes.
Oh,
Ben.
12 minutes and 6 seconds.
I think John has the best answer.
of course you do.
Whether or not that ends up being right, though, is all up to Mike Morhaime, really. So,
I believe in you, Mike.
Challengers, first off, I want to thank you for participating. And chat room, I want to thank you for your help as well. I have had a lot of fun doing this. Jocelyn, have you had fun doing this?
Absolutely.
Thyst, your thoughts?
I feel scared and frustrated, but also I
Well,
had
yeah,
a lot
there's
of
gonna-
fun.
There's going to be a live ape. We're worried.
Yeah, or a dead ape, but not due to fire. Not fire that I didn't start. I'm not gonna start any fires. But no, I had a lot of fun, and thank you, Ro, for putting this all together. It was amazing.
No problem. John, your thoughts? How are you feeling now?
It's a rebuilding year. I came with a focus heavily on 3 things: predictions, getting answers right, and apes. And I feel like I nailed all 3 areas expertly. I'm really excited
I
to
thought
see.
you were going to say beating Joss, beating this, and beating Ben.
No, it's a friendly competition. We're all just here to play. It's been a rebuilding year, and I'm really excited to see how it all plays out in the end. I'm gonna go hard in the paint. That's something that they say in sports ball. And have a good BlizzCon.
Hey, chat room.
Happy Halloween.
Chat room, don't log off yet. I'm just saying. I see some of you saying goodnight. Stay around a few more minutes. Trust me. Ben?
Yes, Ro.
Ben, how do you feel about this?
Pretty good. I know that you don't actually favor John to win, and you're going to be very fair about this. I just have to give him crap because I've had an entire year of it from him.
All right.
Or
now,
actually, how long has the show been going on?
Some
That's
might
how long I've been
say,
getting it from him.
deserved amount of crap.
a while. Now, Ben, you might recall a few weeks back I had you on the rolling restart.
I was on the rolling restart.
Yeah. And I had mentioned that this prediction episode would have a huge twist. You remember that, right?
Yeah, something about the end.
Blow your mind.
So, yeah. So you see, Ben, there was an idea. Draven knows this. It's called the Dresden Initiative. The idea was to bring together a group of remarkable listeners, see if they become something more, see if they can make predictions when we needed them to become the champions that we never could. If you're listening to this episode before the end of October, that's all of you in the chat room and all of you listening to this on the download right now before October ends, congratulations, because should you accept it, you, my dear listener, are now a contestant in the Azeroth Roundtable BlizzCon prediction show.
What?
You too have a chance this year to be champion of Azeroth Roundtable. And here's how you participate. Go to bit.ly/AzerothRT2017. It's open right now. Go to bit.ly/AzerothRT2017. You have until 7 p.m. Pacific time on October 31st to enter. There are a couple of points I need to make. When you see this form, it'll be very similar to all the questions that were asked. The scoring is very close to identical to how I scored it for everyone else here. If you are going to compete in this, though, you're going to be at a disadvantage when trying to overtake our challengers as a champion. The challengers do get to have the best chance to be a champion. In order for you to be the champion, you would have to score at least double the score of the highest challenger, which means the odds are really against you, but it could still happen. I mean, Murloc,
That's
you'll
a
know
hell
it
of a
when you see it,
handicap, bro.
right? It is. Hey, you know
Well,
what?
look, we could be entirely wrong and only get like the winner could have 5 points.
True.
But here's the thing. There is a hell of a handicap. I will give them an extra question at the end worth another 10 points to make it slightly less unfair. But even with those stacked odds, if you're participating in this, whoever wins from those participating on that form, the highest score there, you're going to receive a Murloc-themed prize that I will purchase from at BlizzCon 2017 as your personal trophy, your major award, as it were, whether you end up actually being champion or not. I will ship it worldwide, even if it's in Antarctica. If I have to pay $40 or $50 to ship it there, whatever. And there might be another surprise for the winning entry, but I will need to talk with Ben and John about that before we get to it. And yeah, so that's basically it. Once again, bit.ly/AzerothRT2017. You get to participate in the Azeroth Roundtable BlizzCon 2017 prediction show. You could be champion, but you're going to have to be hella good to do it.
Dun dun dun.
Wow.
So I think that basically brings us to an end here. Chat room, stick around right at the end of the show because I do have a little giveaway, but I'll save that for when the recording's over. Ben, John, I'm going to turn it over to you guys because I know you do some end of show stuff typically.
Well, gosh, thanks, Ro.
So nice of you.
Yeah, first of all, Ro, Jocelyn, Thyst, thank you very much for joining us for this annual tradition that we've started of the BlizzCon prediction episode. It's been fantastic having you. I'm glad that both of you won because you're some of my favorite people. And I might be speaking for John here, but we love you both.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. Okay, good. I didn't want to overstep my bounds there, John. I'm sorry. But, yeah. Anyways, in the meantime, though, until we have our results episode, Jocelyn, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch. I'm at Joss Plays. That's JOCE Plays. You can also find links to everything I do at jossplays.com.
Very cool. Thyst, how about you?
Hi. You can find me on Twitter at Thyst03 and everything else at laggingballs.com.
And Ro, you've been speaking for most of the episode. I'm sure you just took a moment to take a drink. Where can people find you?
Online on Twitter at ROWOW, RHOWOW. You can find the Realm Maintenance Podcast at realm-maintenance.com. You can also find the Rolling Restart Podcast at rollingrestart.frozenfoxmedia.com.
All right. Hey, John.
Hi, Ben.
I'm really glad to have been able to do this episode with you because I actually have a lot more fun, competing against you than making up the rules or having you make up the rules because I think it's a lot more fun that way for both of us. My personal opinion.
Oh, so that's why you cheated me out of it last year?
I have no idea what you're talking about. But John, in the meantime, where can people find you?
Well, if you want to hear more from me, you can follow me on Twitter at John_Jagger, or you can hear me talk about Heroes of the Storm on Core.
Core!
Or
Which is a Heroes of the Storm show on Frog Pants Network. You can find out more about that at heroesforyou.com.
Very
Ben,
good. Yes, John.
If people want to hear more of your fair and unbiased self, where can people follow you?
Best place to follow me is on Twitter. I am at Ben the Mage. I do another show with Eludra called Battle Pets.
Battle
where we-
Pets.
pets.
Where we talk about battle pets in the world of Warcraft.
Oh, that was so good. Joss was getting a drink during it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. You've been interrupting me like for the past few weeks, so I gave you a chance this time, and yeah, happened it as well. But also, if you want to watch, Sarah and I have been, Nevermore and I have been playing Super Mario World on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Ben Bumhofer, because I changed it. And I've been posting those on my YouTube channel as well. We've been having a ton of fun. One other thing, all of us are going to be at BlizzCon. And we always love seeing people who, enjoy our work or hate our work, whatever. But just come up, say hi if you know us, and I'm sure that we'll give you a hearty hello back. And
Don't pinch Ben.
also,
don't pitch Ben's nipple.
that's just we don't ever need to talk about that again. Anyways,
Planting
Can I hear about it
also-
later?
yeah.
Nice.
Also, John and I will be having prizes if you come and find us. So make sure to look for us because we're going to be around. On top of that, this show, Azeroth Roundtable, you can find us on Twitter. We are at AzerothRT. If you have any questions, comments, want to tell us what you thought about this episode or any other, you can always send those emails to AzerothRoundtable@gmail.com. And of course, all of our episodes are found there as well as on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, all those other places.
That it? You good, Ben?
I think I'm good for my bit.
Sweet. Hey, this episode and all the others are made possible by our patrons. Thank you to everybody who has supported us by going to patreon.com/AzerothRT and helping us out. Today we want to give a special thank you to our newest patron, Silverbolt. And as always, we want to thank the Murloc Club, Aaron and Simon. Thank you for your exceptional donations and patronage to the show. Thanks. Thank you. Oh, right. Ben makes a Murloc sound. One more time, Ben.
Yeah.
That's for you.
Yes. So this has been the end of the pre-BlizzCon prediction. Well, not the pre-BlizzCon prediction episode. This is the end of the 2017 BlizzCon prediction episode.
What?
We'll see you all at the con. I know, that's a
So-
good question. So I'll just say bye, everybody.
So
I'll cut
hey,
it off
chat
somewhere
room.
there. I don't know.
For those of you who've been sticking around a long time, would anyone here like a BlizzCon virtual ticket? Because I have one to give away.
Ooh.
What?
Ooh.
I did mention on the Real Maintenance podcast that if you showed up here, you'd have a chance to win one. So it's time to take care of that.
Wow. That is very nice of you.
So, hey, John, do you have the giveaway stuff up and running?
Yes.
Can you run a giveaway?
I can do it. Hold on.
All right.
I'm
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
gonna turn
Yeah.
that
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, what word would you like them to? Oh, I guess I'll come up with it so I can have it pre-typed because I will.
Yeah,
type
That's probably a
slow.
good idea.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, Laura.
Okay, the
But in Latin, Jehovah starts with an I.
the word is Murlocs man. It's 2 words. It's Murlocs space man. Murlocs man.
Murlocs, man.
Murlocs, man. Has the
And
ability to control all Murlocs.
I actually.
All right,
Whoa.
so have you started it?
They should be able to do it. I think it's
Okay.
going. I'm not
So
seeing
Murlocs
any of it yet.
man.
Oh,
There's one.
actually,
There's
no.
one.
Hold on. Sorry,
Huh?
the chat wasn't refreshing properly. My bad. That's
Oh,
not
no.
gonna be the word. That was a test to see if you were paying attention.
Ah, John.
Good job, John.
Okay. New word.
New
Coming up
word.
with a new word here, everybody. It's fine. It's all fine. New word is WTG space John. And guess what? You're all gonna have to learn to spell my name correctly. Bunch
Ooh.
of butts.
Wow.
Way to go,
That's very
John.
true. Because everybody sends it as
There's one
incorrect.
from Alessander. All right, so WTG space John. In order to be entered to win a BlizzCon virtual ticket, we'll let that go for about a minute.
WTG.
Yeah,
Congrats,
you have to know
Straven.
how to spell his name.
And many props to Blizzard Entertainment for giving me codes to give away.
Thanks,
That's
Blizz.
very, very cool of
Super
them.
cool of them.
No, we do not want to sell John.
What the
What, did somebody do WTB?
No, WTS.
WTF?
Oh,
John.
you don't know me.
IWTG.
That was fun. Ran a little longer than I expected it to. I was trying to get it to an hour and a half, but
Oh, it
well.
always goes longer.
That's what she said.
Are we ready to roll?
I guess because
Yeah.
they've stopped coming in.
Yeah, they
Okay,
stopped coming.
I'm rolling.
Let's do it. Elaine of Shallot.
Woohoo!
Congratulations, Elaine.
All right. I will need to message.
Yay.
Man, the new version of this mod outs all sort of details about him when I hit it.
Oh, gee.
I mean, nothing
Elaine,
You
crazy
know their
or
permanent
creepy,
record
but
from
it's like
elementary school.
it'll tell me if they're following the channel, if they're subscribed,
Oh wow.
stuff like that.
Well, they can tell us all that off the air.
All right, 1 second. I'm trying to. How come I can't? I'm trying to figure out how to send a message to her.
You click the name,
Whisper isn't working.
and then you hit whisper.
I know, but Whisper isn't working for her. Like, I click on the name and I click Whisper and it says coming soon.
Oh.
It's weird.
Oh.
Oh.
I can do it if you want to give me the code. Just put it in Skype.
Okay, I'll pass the code on to you and then you
Okay.
can give it to her. So look for a message from.
Oh, actually, I have a whole send message button as part of this add-on. Give it to
Oh.
me. Give it to me.
Well, I'll be
Okay,
dropping it. I'm dropping the code in the Skype chat in just a sec here. So.
John, I'll let you send it then. Meanwhile, there's just a whisper from all of us that has a whole bunch of just random letters and numbers. You have to figure out which one it actually
All right.
is.
None
it's
of
in
them
Skype chat.
work. Okay, hold on. This is gonna mess. Oh wait, no, it's not gonna mess up the video because the video's not on anymore. So that's perfect.
Aha!
Aha! Okay, boom. All right. It is sending. It will be in your message box in Twitch. It is not a whisper, so you have to actually go to your messages in Twitch to get it. That's the hint that I'll give you. If you need more help on where to find that, I'm not gonna be able to help you. It's in the message.
All right.
What do you
So-
think he is? Tech support?
Burp, burp. Okay.
Congrats, Elaine, on winning that virtual ticket. And Dragotha, thank you for the kind words. I hope people enjoyed this. It's a pretty complicated, mathy, elaborate prediction show, but I had fun doing it, and I'm hoping other people had fun too. And you guys made it pretty entertaining. I had fun.
I had a lot of fun. I'm glad you were
Yeah,
here
it
for
was
it.
fun, dude.
I had the most fun.
Oh, jeez.
I had the most
Hey,
fun.
Joe Mero said
Was that
I'd
worth
done
5
good, so at least I
points,
did one thing
or-
right today. All right.
All right.
Thanks,
all right.
Jamero.
I'm gonna go shoot people butt.
All right.
Did you say butt instead of buy? I
Yep.
think she did.
Yep, she said but.
Yeah.
All right, chat. As you can tell, we're already losing people because this show went long.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I keep thinking it's Friday, and it is
I do
not
too. I have to get
damn
up early tomorrow.
Friday.
No.
So, good night.
I'll see-
We love you, but this is my angry I have to go to work soon voice.
Bye.
Yeah.
Good
everybody.
night.
Me too.
Good night, Chad. Thank you.
Good night, chat.
You were awesome.